Hey you guys, it's me Kiana coming at you again today, and I'm coming at you guys and I wanted to start the stir fry with you guys. It's somewhat of a lo mein type Atkins stir fry, and this is great for you guys that maybe if you're having a slight bit of maybe a Chinese food craving, or maybe you just want to try something different. And we're going to use our tofu shiitake noodles, and these are the fettuccine kind. Okay, these are going to be for the whole entire bag, just 40 calories. So you low caloric got girls out there, this is a good choice. And also it's only 2 carbs for the whole entire bag. Now each bag has 2 servings, so this is another great opportunity, you guys, for when you don't want to have to cook every day. And as you know, I don't cook every day. What I do is, because I am the only one on the Atkins diet in the home, I cook a great portion and then I just eat it over several days. You necessarily don't have to eat it every day. You can just go ahead and freeze it, put it in individual size freezer bags, and then just simply when you want to cook it, put the freezer bag down in some boiling hot water, and that's it. Or you could just nuke it in the microwave. So whichever one floats your boat, but I'm just giving you ideas of so you don't have to cook every day, and also it's convenience. So it's no excuse at that point. So what I did was I took advantage of the opportunity to be able to load a lot of vegetables. In a stir fry, you can just add anything that you have, whether it's something that was on sale at the market, or if it's just something you have left over in your fridge. As for me, I had 2 heads of cabbage just sitting in my fridge for the past couple of days. So I just simply took about 1/4 of that cabbage, sprayed some ham inside of a pan, and then just sauteed that up. Added a little bit of fresh ground pepper and a little bit of salt to that. And I also added, to add yet another flair or yet another taste, and also some more nutritional value, I added a very small mini-sized can of cut green beans. And these came from Harris Teeter's last week. They were 3 for $1. So what I do is I try to buy veggies, of course leaning more towards the spectrum of the low carb vegetables, and I try to keep those at all times at hand, because you can always just add it inside of a dish. It adds nutritional value, it gives you your carbs count that you needed for that day, and it's just another great way to, you know, make you feel great inside. As far as carb count for this, you guys, it is 2 carbs and it's 2 servings for the whole can. So it's only 4 carbs for this entire can. Needless to say, I used the entire can. For 1/4 a head of cabbage, that's probably approximately about 5 or 6 carbs tops. So let's go with 5. So right there, that's 9 carbs, you guys. The chicken that we're going to use, I got with couponing, of course. Boneless, skinless chicken breast, Purdue. It was BOGO, and it was $4.13 as labeled on the package. But keep in mind, I got 2 packages for that price. So we're just going to simply use a half a pack of this. So if you're doing the math, you guys, and by the way, that's 0 carbs. So if you're doing the math, not even just about the carb count, you're eating not a lot of food, and you know, you're stretching it over what, 2 days, and in 2 days altogether with this whole meal, as far as chicken, it's going to be 1.5 pieces of chicken in 2 days. So this is a meal that, like I said, you can just this is great for just beefing up a dish, fixing something quick, easy, different. And the shiitake noodles, with the cabbage, the green beans, the shiitake noodles, we're looking at probably about 11 carbs, and that's without the sauce. Now, as you saw in the previous video, I gave you several options of what kind of sauces you can use. Now, you can always make your own sauce, you guys, and of course, making your own is going to be easier for you. Not so much easier, but easier for you to count the carbs and to maintain them very low, because you have more hands-on. You can eliminate, you can add to, or whatever. So you have several options to put in this dish, you guys, as far as sauce, if you look at the previous video. As for me, I'm going to stay with the lower end of what sauce works for this dish, and the carb count is low. And that's this Alfredo sauce. Now, of course, one can make their own Alfredo sauce with just some cream and some Parmesan cheese, and a little bit of salt and pepper and stuff, and that'll be like virtually zero carbs. But we're talking about, I like to try to do things that is convenience for all. And sometimes it's not going to be convenient for you to make your own sauce. So what I'm doing is trying to teach you guys or show you guys or enlighten you guys to some sauces that you can have for people that, you know, have to fix this meal quickly and easily. And also by doing it on a budget. So this is going to be it's 3 carbs, okay? It's 7 servings, as I told you in the previous video. 21 carbs for this whole jar. But what we're going to do is we're only going to use half of this jar. And with using half of the jar, and you cook your meal almost all the way cooked, and then add the sauce, that's going to eliminate half the carbs for you for this whole jar. So you're looking at what, about 10 carbs, 10 and a half carbs right there. So we're going to use a half a jar of this, all of our vegetables and our meat, and you're looking at probably about 21 carbs for the whole entire dish. So needless to say, this is induction phase friendly because you're allowed 20 carbs for the whole day. This is a dish that literally you can just eat on all day long and don't have to have anything else, making it the whole dish definitely induction phase friendly. Now, if you want to break it down into 2 or 3 meals, even better. So what I did was I just went ahead and sauteed up my veggies. And this is the sauteed cabbage as well as the green beans. I also just put a little bit of salt and pepper on that. You don't have to use really much. We're going to cut up the chicken breast look like this. We're going to go ahead and cut up thinly sliced 1.5 of those chicken breasts. Now you can use more, but I really have a craving for the cabbage and the veggies. So I'm going to stick with making this mainly, for me, mainly being a stir fry with mainly vegetable and just a little bit of meat. Now as for you, you can do whatever you like. Keep in mind that this is strictly protein. It has no carbs, so you can use the whole package if you like. So that's up to you. And of course, keep in mind if you're fixing it for more than one person, you definitely want to use more than 1.5 chicken breasts. You can approximate it to being one chicken breast per person, minimum. All right. So I'm just slicing this up thin. I have another pan right here handy, and I'm just going to. What do you want? What you call me, babe? What you call me, Daddy? When I had this scarf, because I got the scarf on. Dashiki. He calls me Dashiki when I have my scarf on, y'all. Sick. I'm just dicing it up, you guys. Baby, why is you in the camera again? Do you want something?
Yeah, I just got it.
Huh? Anyway, I sprayed a little bit of ham in my separate pan, and I just diced it up, cut them in strips, and then I just went ahead and cut those strips in half as well. And this is how it's going to look. Alright? So you're going to put that on the fire. I'm still going to be dicing as I'm talking because I have to do the second chicken breast. I said I'm going to only do half of this one. So I'm just going to cut this in half, and then the rest left over, I'm just going to go ahead and put that in the Ziploc bag and throw that right back in the freezer, ready for another meal. Now, you can substitute this meal for if you have any steak. As for me, I wanted to, lately, even though I don't have any health concerns about it, and it really isn't an issue, but I've been trying to like stay away from as much red meat as possible. What I do is I limit myself to having red meat, whether that's ground beef or whatever. I limit myself to having it like once or maybe twice a week. Now, that doesn't seem like a big thing to everybody else, but for somebody that doesn't have any issues with red meat, you know, that's great that you can even cut it down a little bit. And again, this is just basically learning your body learning what works for you, and living accordingly as far as what you serve and how you eat. Now, I've already sliced it. Now I'm just going to go ahead and cut those in half. So like I said, if you wanted to add some steak or some kind of roast that was on sale, great opportunity for you to do so. Also remaining on a budget, also, you know, being packed full of flavor and not looking like your traditional diet food. And that's a great key as well. You all know, you know, I'm big on tricking myself. That's how I've maintained being on it, going from someone who was a food abuser, you know, and then being able to never not slip in 3 months in a week. You know, you have to have done something that has to have tricked your body, because, you know, your body, not just your mind, but your body actually is addicted to all of the carbs that you're accustomed to having, all of the fattening foods, or the wrong fattening kinds of food, and also the collaboration of eating those foods together is actually what's the problem. But, you know, read the book, you'll understand what I'm saying. So this is the meat, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of salt on that and a little bit of fresh ground pepper. As for you guys, please go ahead and ask any questions or comments, and I'm just going to come back with it all stirred together, it all sauteed. Then we're going to add our sauce, and I'm going to show you how you can cut those calories, and I'm going to show you how you can get a lot of sauce, but if you use it to the end of your cooking process, you'll actually save and cut half of those calories if it's your thing, and half of those carbs, but yet still have full, you know, full flavor and lots of sauce, rather than just drown it in, you know, sauce and then cook while the sauce is actually drying up inside the food. You're not getting the full impact, but yet you're getting the full carbs. So go ahead and saute that. Separately, we have our already sauteed cabbage and green beans, and then we're going to add our noodles, which is actually soaking. And I just simply put them in here, and I use the fettuccine noodles, you guys, because it looks more like lo mein noodles. And again, we're trying to trick ourselves into thinking that we have something like Chinese food. It's soaking right now. I'm going to rinse them again so they don't have that little fish smell that they often have. You can even, I would recommend that you even nuke them, but I even go a step further than that, and I just boil them in some water. Then I don't have to worry about them ever having a smell. I don't have to worry about nuking them. None of that. I just go ahead, boil some water, leave them alone, come back like a minute or two later. They're done. Drain them, put them in my food. That's all I have to do. So, alright, you guys. Love you so much. Dashikis out. Be blessed.